Want to get this show ad-free? Head to dailytechnewsshow.com/subscribe to find out how.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Ah, really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This podcast is supported by Ambetter Health. Group health insurance can put businesses in a tough position. If you're a business owner, CFO, or HR leader, this probably sounds familiar. It's fall, and your group health insurance premium is going up, maybe by a lot. And as usual, you have to pick one carrier and a few plans for all employees, even though they have different needs, budgets, and doctors. Fortunately, there's a new approach, ICHRA. It makes costs predictable with stable pre-tax contributions and lets employees choose any plan from any carrier. You choose how much to contribute. They choose what works for them. For coverage you can control, plan on an ICHRA. Learn more at ambetterhealth.com/ICHRA.
These are the Daily Tech headlines for Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. At its Made by Google event, Google launched its Pixel 10 lineup, including the Pixel 10, the 10 Pro, the 10 Pro XL, and foldable Pixel 10 Pro Fold, all run on the new Tensor G5 chip. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold is $1,800. For that, you get an 8-inch foldable display, improved hinge, 30-hour battery life, triple camera system with 48-megapixel main lens, and up to a 20x zoom. The Pixel 10 is $799, the 10 Pro is $999, the 10 Pro XL is $1,199, all with glass and metal builds, 6.3 to 6.8-inch displays, and enhanced cameras. Pro models also get 16 gigs of RAM and Qi 2.2 wireless charging. The Pixels also get Gemini Nano AI, on-device generative AI, Magic Q for contextual suggestions, Camera Coach for AI-guided photography, and new Qi 2 Pixel Snap accessories, similar to Apple's MagSafe. Pre-orders are live now. Shipping starts August 28th. Microsoft and Asus will launch the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X handhelds on October 16th in more than 40 markets. Pricing and pre-order info still to come, but leaks do suggest that the Ally could cost between $549 and $699, and the Ally X up to $1,049. The base model runs AMD's Ryzen Z2A chip with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. The Ally X uses a Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme with 24 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Microsoft also introduced a handheld compatibility program and new Windows gaming optimizations. Forbes reports that hundreds of thousands of chats with XAI chatbot Grok are showing up in Google search, since shared conversations generate unique URLs that search engines can then index. The exposed chats include users asking Grok for things like accessing someone else's crypto wallet, building a bomb, making a certain type of drug, and, well, worse. This mirrors recent issues with both Meta and OpenAI bots. XAI previously claimed that Grok has no sharing feature and prioritized privacy. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Intel must give the government an equity stake in exchange for CHIPS Act funds, converting previous grants into non-voting shares. Some reports suggest that the White House would seek a 10% stake. That would make it Intel's largest shareholder. As we passed along yesterday, Intel also secured a $2 billion investment from SoftBank, making SoftBank Intel's fifth biggest investor. Also, at its Made for Google event on Wednesday, Google announced NBA star Stephen Curry is now a performance advisor for its Health, Pixel, and Cloud products. Curry will test features like Fitbit's Gemini-powered health coach, share training philosophies, and provide feedback on new hardware and AI tools. He and his team are contractually using Pixel devices, and he's already integrating Google Cloud's AI basketball coach into training programs. Also, go Warriors. There's now an official White House TikTok account, even though no deal has been struck with ByteDance to prevent a U.S. ban, which currently has a September 17th deadline. The new account debuted with a video touting the U.S. president's accomplishments, with officials saying that TikTok is a key tool for communicating with supporters. At least 3 UK organizations reported personal data breaches after attackers exploited new zero-day vulnerabilities in on-premise Microsoft SharePoint servers. Microsoft issued an urgent alert on July 19th for customers to reconfigure or disconnect systems until patches became available. Those flaws were then exploited by at least 2 Chinese state-sponsored groups and another financially motivated China-based group. Britain's Information Commissioner's Office, or ICO, confirmed receiving 3 breach reports tied to the bug by July 28th, though the true number may be higher. Reuters reports that Amazon is planning a $400 Android tablet under an internal project called Kitty Hawk, targeting Apple's base iPad market. Unlike Amazon's budget Fire tablets that run Fire OS, the new device will reportedly run a more standard version of Android. This new model could launch as soon as next year, marking Amazon's most ambitious push into tablets since the Fire phone back in 2014. Meta is reorganizing its superintelligence labs 2 months after launch, splitting it into 4 smaller groups focused on research, infrastructure, products, and then superintelligence. The New York Times sources say this restructuring comes amid increasing AI spending at the company, expensive talent poaching, and concerns from shareholders. Meta's AI tools have boosted ad revenue, but its consumer-facing chatbot has been criticized, drawing lawsuits, state investigations, and a Senate probe over harmful outputs. And finally today, Sony says it's raising U.S. prices of all PlayStation 5 models by $50 starting Thursday, citing economic conditions and tariffs on imports from China and Japan, where the consoles are manufactured. So, the new prices will be PS5, $550, PS5 Digital Edition, $500, and PS5 Pro, $750. Sony already raised PS5 prices earlier this year in the UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. For more analysis of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. That's where you can find show notes and links to all these headlines there as well. If you enjoy the show, remember to tell a friend to check us out. I'm Sarah Lane. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Ah, really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.